All right, hello everybody. It is November the 12th of 2021. We are back once again. Today we'll be reading Psalm 49. This is to the chief musician, a psalm for the sons of Korah. Hopefully my nose won't give me any problems because I can already feel it starting. We will uh, we will work with it and see what happens. All right, Psalm 49. Hear this, all ye people. Give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor together. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline mine ear to a parable. I will open my dark saying upon the harp. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heels shall compass me about? That they trust in their wealth, and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches. None of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceaseth forever. That he should live forever, and not see corruption. For he seeth that wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is, that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. This their way is their folly, yet their posterity prove their sayings. Selah. Like sheep they are laid in the grave. Death shall feed on them, and the upright shall have dominion over them in the morning, and their beauty shall consume in the grave from their dwelling. But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me. Selah. Be not thou afraid when one is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased. For when he dieth, he shall carry nothing away. His glory shall not descend after him. Though while he lived he blessed his soul, and men will praise thee, when thou doest well to thyself. He shall go to the generation of his fathers. They shall never see light. Man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. Man that is in honor understandeth not, like the beasts that perish. And I bet probably that probably has a difference, a different meaning. I'm going to go through Psalm 49 in the Strong's Concordance. Pull that back a little, all the way at the end. 20, man that is in honor, man that is in value, wealth. So a man that is in wealth and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. Aha, that's why you look this stuff up. So there's a lot in here about having the wealth of this world, having the things of this world, but not understanding that this is all, it's all meaningless. That your life here means nothing. Next life, that means everything. Wherefore should I fear the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heels shall compass me about? They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. There is no amount of wealth that you can have in this world, and the boastings you have of your wealth, that can save you or save anyone you know. And there is no amount of money that you can pay God that He will let you in. It's the old line from Metallica. Uh, what was it? Oh, come on now. Pay a better price and you'll get a better seat. Is that what it is? Oh, the day when I start forgetting Metallica lyrics. Oy. Oh man. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of people sadly in this world that have fallen for the what is it called? The prosperity gospel. There it is. Father, forgive that. The prosperity gospel, that while we are here on this earth, God wants us to prosper. He wants us to have all the things of this world because He loves us. Because it's through His love of us that He gives us all these things. All you have to do is pray to Him, and He will give you all the money and all the riches and all the fame and all the power that you could ever want. Never once thinking that it says, worry not about your treasures in this life, but build up your treasures the next one. Which I, I've always known, you know, these prosperity gospel guys, even before, even before I started giving myself over to Christ, I knew there was something wrong with it. I didn't, because when I was a teenager, I read the Bible, I read the New Testament. They used to hand out little New Testaments whenever you used to go out to like the state fair and stuff. Little tiny things. They weren't even like 3 inches high. I don't even know where all mine went. They got to be somewhere. But I think I got one like every year, and I know I read them. At least once I read them. A little tiny print that you probably should have. Probably why my eyesight was so bad because a little tiny, teeny weeny print. But I always, you watch those guys on TV, and they just, most of them are millionaires, anyways, and they're saying, oh, if you just send us such and such amount of money, God will bless you with money, and God wants you to be happy on this life, in this life, on this world. So, if you pray for it, He'll give you all the riches and all the power. And I'm like, that's not what it says. That was never what it says. Actually, since I've been reading the Old Testament too, well, I've read, they read. I, there's nothing in the Bible that says anything about a Sunday best. It's just something that I've come across, which I think is fascinating. Because I've always heard you dress yourself up nice, put on your Sunday best, you show off as good as you can because apparently it matters to God if you've shaved and put on a suit. Um, and that's how you go to church. That doesn't say that anywhere. It actually says the exact opposite. It says that when you come to the Father, you come as humble as possible. Most times, when people came to the Father as humble as possible, you put on sackcloth. You put on your worst. You lose everything there is to lose. You come to Him faithfully on your knees. You don't come to Him with your riches. You don't come to Him with your tithes. You don't come to Him with your prosperity. You come to Him as humble and as wretched as possible. And, and I, it wasn't until I actually read the whole Bible, and I was like, I. It wasn't until I read the whole Bible, and I was like, that's the exact opposite of what I was told when I was growing up. Exact opposite. It's unbelievable. I mean, if you want to look good, hey, that's fine and dandy, but don't, God doesn't care. He doesn't care. He wants you to come to Him humbly and faithfully. He's not worried about your riches. Your riches mean nothing to Him. It's not like you're gonna face that judgment day and you're gonna get up and you're gonna be judged in front of the saints and you're gonna say, "Well, I made as much money as you wanted me to, Father." He ain't gonna care. It's all garbage. It's all just absolute garbage. And again, I've said I'm just as guilty of having all that garbage. I've said it many times. I've got just massive amounts of crap over the years that I've held on to. And when the day comes that he tells me that I need to get rid of it all, then that'll be the day that I'll be okay with it because I know that it's coming. One of these days I'm going to have to just drop everything and just walk away from it. I don't know when, I don't know how. I just know that it's there, and I've come to terms with losing a lot of it. And I've already said that I've dumped off a lot of the really bad, the stuff that made me sin in the past. I've dumped a lot of that stuff off. About 95% of it. There's still some left in some tubs out in the garage that I need to get rid of. But all that's left now is this just collectible garbage. Looks cool on a shelf, but does it do me any good? One of these days I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm not compelled to right now, and I really don't have the time to try to get rid of it right now. But when that time comes and I am compelled to not only get rid of it, sell it all, but to give that money away. And I know that's what I want to do. I'm going to wind up getting it and giving the money away. When that happens, I hope I will understand that it's time when that happens. One of the few things I pray for is that if you talk to me, Father, and if you tell me what to do, and and tell me where to go and tell me if there's something that I need to fix or something I need to do. Just make it blatant and in my face because I need to see it. Because I know there's been times where I know I've missed it and where I didn't follow my instinct as much as I should, and I probably missed something. And all I can do for those is just ask for forgiveness on that. For he seeth that wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Because the family bloodlines of this world, those people that are on top, the thing that the normies of the world just don't seem to understand is that the people that run the media, run the politics, run every part of this existence, they've been there for a while. They've been there for years upon years upon years. This is generational because for them, they think that, and I've had a hard time with this, trying to figure this out too, is why would they, because they know that, they can only live, well, okay, most of these guys are living to be 100 years old now. But I've always wondered, why would they go through all this trouble just to make sure that their grandchildren had what they want? Because most of them, they want whatever they can get now. And I'm sure they do. I'm sure there's a lot of them that are enjoying the lives that they're leading, and it is what it is. But they're handing it down to their children, who are handing it down to their grandchildren, and they've been. It's a slow burn. This isn't, it's not like we're just going to imprison the world and we're going to take all the wealth right now. Even though they've done that, I think the grandkids and the great grandkids are the ones that started this back in the 1800s. I think it's just that they're greedy and they want it, they want it as soon as possible. So that's why we're seeing such a push to get everything done as fast as they can. But you've got these two verses right in your face, right here. Psalm 49. For he seeth that wise men die. Likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, that their generations, their bloodline shall continue forever. Their thoughts are that they can keep this going on and on and on, and that the plebs, the plebeians, the rubes on the bottom won't catch on, and that they can rule the world with all their wealth and all their whatever, making their laws. And they call their lands after their own names. I mean, that's just right there. Just tells you everything you need to know right there within those two verses. That's how the world is run because they think that it'll last forever. What they do. I mean, this was written back in David's time, right? So we're talking about like the Babylon. I mean, but it carries over. This is like what 3,000 years, 3,000 years ago. Well, 3,000 years. Gotta be. That's near Christ, right? I don't know. The calendar's off, so we never know. Anyways, nothing changes. There's nothing new under the sun. I don't know how many times I've said that in my life. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing ever changes. They've kept it going and going and going, and that's exactly what it says. And they're dwelling places to all generations. But nevertheless, man being in honor, nevertheless, man being in wealth, not honor, wealth, not the honor we think of. This is that word probably could have meant something different way back in the 1600s, if that was when this was written. Nevertheless, man being in wealth abideth not; he is like the beasts that perish. This is their way of folly. They'd have no understanding. Yet their posterity, prove their sayings. And like all things, they will die in their grave. There would be nothing outside of that. But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me. Be not thou afraid when one is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased. When he dieth, he shall carry nothing away, for he shall not descend after him. For he, being the wealthy, shall go to the generation of his fathers, they shall never see the light. Wow. Good stuff. I do enjoy it whenever I'm able to understand like that. It's like I've said the two biggest things I've ever prayed for since I started this whole thing, giving myself over, was praying for forgiveness and understanding. Today I actually prayed for help fixing the house. not not money to fix the house, just help fixing the house. Because, the wealth will come in. We are not wealthy by any means whatsoever, even though I think I just got a raise. I don't know. Just just check my paycheck and it's way bigger than it should be. And I don't know what's going on with that. But I feel absolutely blessed that the Father has been able to give us what we have. And we have given as much back as we can. We are preparing ourselves to give back more if we need to. But everything that's happened over the past year and a half when it comes to buying the new house and moving, I prayed on it as much as I could. I said, is this what we're supposed to do? Because I don't really know. And so far it seems like, we're still following along in the right decisions. It's just now we have to there's things about this place we have to fix. And I kind of laid it down. I said, okay, well, if we're supposed to be here, then please help me fix this. It's all stuff I can do by myself. There's a couple things that need a fair amount of money to fix, but it's all stuff I can do by myself, I just was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Help. Father, please help. I don't know. There was a video I didn't watch the other day, and I probably should have. Uh, it dealt with praying for money, and like I said, I didn't watch it. I was in the middle of something else, and I probably skipped over it. So I don't know. Um, and I've thought about that. Not personally praying for money, but I was corrected the other day, and whoever corrected me, uh, because I had said, oh, what was it about? Something about money. What was it about? No, it happened at the beginning of the week, so I doubt I'd be able to look it up. But it was something about doing something for God, and it was money. I don't remember exactly what it is. And I had said, money is from Satan because, the root of all evil is money. It's where it starts, and people just become more and more evil as they get more and more money. And somebody corrected me. He said that it's the love of money that leads direction. Here we go. It was the it was about the concert last Saturday, and everybody's pushing the whole satanic panic thing again. You know, because there's so many people out there that I even posted something about that too on Twitter. Was that it's good to see the normies waking up to it, but if you're really going to push that this thing was as satanic as you say it is, you need to know what you're talking about. Sorry, I had to take care of my nose. Told you it was going to get bad here. But there's so many people right now that are saying, "Oh, look, it's the imagery of the thing, and the eyeballs, and you've got this, and you've got the fire that came out of the stage. And, there was eight flames, and there's 8 people that died." And yes, they use very satanic imagery. The whole industry does. It always has. It always will. Even if you didn't know it. And yes, it was a portal, and that he was wearing a shirt where these blue guys were going into a portal and then coming out on the other side, and they were red, and the guys had like these little horns, so that yeah, it was like it was a thing, and and I'm not gonna say that it wasn't some kind of ritual. I mean, there was a lot to it, and I found out that while while Travis Scott was sitting or standing on the thing looking down at, them trying to help people out, I didn't know that he was singing dead. What he was saying. He was saying dead through his auto tune. The video I was watching, it sounded like he was singing dead over and over and over and over. And it's a little weird. It's a little creepy. It's a little weird. So, but you've got so many people talking about that, saying, "Oh, it's a satanic thing," and the guy on the one guy on a TikTok video that was saying it felt evil. I felt like it was satanic, man. It was bad. Okay, yes, yes, okay, I get that. There's a lot of people that want to say that stuff, and they can do that. That's going to be on them. That's cool. Um, but of course, the pushback on that is the whole satanic panic thing got pulled back up, which it wasn't really a panic because everybody back in the 80s or 70s, they knew what the hell they were talking about. You go back and you look at the stuff they were talking, and they weren't really talking about much, but it was still there. There was a lot of stuff going on with the satanic panic back in the 70s and 80s. But, this one they're all saying, you know, all the right wingers would have come out and they would have start talking about this and talking about that. I think it's funny, and of course everybody's laughing about it and ha 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 whatever. But I gotta take a drink of water. See, you guys got me talking too much. That's what it is. But they were going on and on about it like that, and a bunch of people, that I saw were saying it's not Satanism, it's about money. That it wasn't that they were trying to sacrifice people. It was about money, that they hired cheap security, and the whole thing was funded poorly, and that this and this and that and that. And I said, well, I'm not going to say my exact words here, but gist of it. It was basically, I was saying, for everybody that's jumping on the satanic panic bandwagon, uh, and just to put down God and put down Christians and all that, and saying that it was more about money and not about Satan. Just remember that money is the root of all evil. That money is of Satan, which it is pretty much. God gives us money, sure, that we can use, but we don't need it, because if we had enough faith that God would be able to provide for us, we don't need money. We don't need it. So Satan has taken money and used it to the extreme against us, that's all people worship. Because this comes from another thing I was watching, where it was a guy that was just walking through China, and he was saying the 5 things that are wrong with China. And one of the things he was saying was people that have no faith, people that have no faith in anything else, that aren't allowed to have faith in it, they become self righteous. And the only thing they worship after that is money. Because it's the only thing left. Worship is money. Because there's no empathy for anybody. You're not worried about hurting or destroying or taking away from other people. You're only worried about serving yourself. So when you serve yourself, the only way you can do that is through money. Because money's the only thing that'll make you happy. Because you're just wanting to get stuff to make yourself happy. And the only way to do that is to make money. And then money becomes your God, because all you're worried about is getting more money so that you can get more stuff to make you happy. And that blew me away. I said, that's what's happening right now in America. is that people have lost their faith. And I've heard this so many times and I never understood it until that point, that if you don't have God, if you don't have the understanding of good and evil, if you don't have something to anchor you in faith, in love, you have no empathy. And you basically think everything is nothing, everything is garbage, and you become self serving. You start becoming a consumer, and you will do and hurt anybody you can in order to serve yourself. And again, it just kind of blew me away. I was just one of those things where I was like, that, wow, there's something, there's something to be said about that. So I had said, because everybody was, saying that this was about money and about God or anything else, that you know it was the root of all evil. It was money. It's still a Satan. It's still satanic. And of course, like I said, somebody corrected me and said it's the love of money that is the root of all evil. And I said, yeah, you've got it. I had, you know, I had gone one way with it, and he woke me up to the other way. That's cool. But yeah, it's just, it was like, where am I going with this? But that's, I don't even remember where we were. Where were we at the beginning of this? Where we were talking about the people that they just want to store it up for themselves. Okay, but how did I get onto money? Was it just a story that I was telling? I know now. I don't know. I find it interesting though that was, we read that as we read that psalm today, and then that happened. I don't remember where we were going with it. I really don't. Shoot. I've been talking so far around that I'm completely lost on what my thought was. Oh well, anyways. I just pulled my pay history up. No, I don't I didn't get a raise. I just haven't looked at my I haven't looked at my checks in so long. I didn't know how much I'm making because I just don't care, because the money's just there and it doesn't. It's just there. Did I ever? Was it back in May or June? I don't remember, of 2020. Uh, because I work for a federal mortgage company. Because we are federal, we have to keep working. So I got to keep my job. A lot of people didn't. I feel like crap because I'm still working, and I've been working this whole time. But we actually got an email, and the big boss actually came out and said, you should feel glad that you're helping people, you know, keep their mortgages during these troubling times, and you know that we're helping people, basically helping people find ways to pay for their mortgage while they were losing their jobs, which we did. We did a lot of that, and I do feel good for that. I really do, because there was a lot of people that lost their jobs. A lot of people that had small businesses. They had to take out a mortgage to get a house and couldn't pay their mortgage. So yes, I'm glad that we were able to do that. But then he called us heroes. I said, no, 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 no. And I'm not a hero for keeping my job. I'm not going to be considered a hero for being what you would call essential. And I'm not even essential. What I Because what we do is basically setting up the computer to be able to read, you know, the stuff that we put into the computer. We help the computer, we help the AI basically. We help it to understand, where forms go and everything else. And I said, no, it's not here because of it. And but he's bumped our pay so much that I don't even, it's just garbage. The biggest problem is that because we don't leave the house anymore, I don't get to interact with people. There used to be several different homeless guys that whenever I used to run by them and I had some cash, I'd give them some cash. Some of them I didn't because they were just, you give somebody some cash and they just keep coming back for more and more and more. And it happens over the period of 3 years. It's like, hey, we need to start talking about other stuff to do with you. I can give you, 10, 20, $50, but if you're not willing to work on it, we got to figure out something else. Um, Even though a lot of those guys disappeared and I don't know where they went. That was one of the scary things that happened whenever the lockdown started, was that all the homeless people disappeared. It scared the crap out of me. Now what's going on? Uh, and then it was like all these new people came out. You know, people I'd never seen before. Whenever we happened to be out and about, and I was like, "What's going on here?" It was weird. Anyways, I used to see these people all the time, and I used to, I throw them a five here, throw them a 10 there, but now it's just, we don't get out. Now we're in a new city. There's not as many homeless people out here. Say that much right now. But I don't pay attention to my bank account anymore. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. We pay our bills, and I am going to have to figure out a place I can start donating because it just, I don't want to stockpile this stuff. Even though we are trying to put it into places to where we can have it in case the world falls apart, which is still something that people should do. Just be prepared. I'm not saying that anyone has to stockpile like hundreds of thousands of dollars in silver or anything. I'm not going to be one of those guys. Uh, some of these truther guys on these videos, man, say, we're going to bring on this, guy from this gold and silver thing and yada yada yada. It's like, okay, but if you stockpile gold and silver to be able to barter with on the back end of this, it's still only worth what people think it's worth. You know, it's still only going to be worth what somebody says it's worth, and then that's going to be tied to either a dollar amount or you know whatever. And if you're lucky, yeah, maybe you can get a price out of a piece of silver, but you know, I don't. You're still putting your faith into a monetary system. You should Be more concerned with food if you need to be concerned with food. If you have much faith as a mustard seed, you should be able to move mountains. So I'm not putting my faith in food. I've actually I know that my body can go for a good 5 months without food. Well, with minimal food. I know my body can go for a good 5 months with minimal amounts of food. Because I've done it before. I'm a big guy. I My body will eat itself for a while until I start really getting bad. But I'm not worried about that so much. But you definitely want to worry about food, and you definitely want to worry about shelter. And you definitely want to worry about praying to God every day to help you through. You can't put your trust in. You can't where it's going to be. You don't know. You don't know what people are going to want on the end of this because you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. So I don't know how I got off on this tangent either. Man, you guys got me all over the place. Where? But I am right on top of having to go to work, so I need to stop, man. I need to stop. Uh, what came of all that? Don't put your faith in the riches of this world. You cannot. You cannot buy your way to heaven. The material objects in this world mean nothing. That the Bible absolutely calls out the big bloodline families in the world. Just straight called them out. Just that's amazing. I was able to find that today. All right. Anyways, thank you guys very much for listening to me babble on about nonsense. What am I gonna say? I don't remember now. I don't remember. I had something in my mind, but I don't remember what I was gonna say. Um, yeah. I don't know. I figured I might as well just go ahead and stop it then. Usually, when my mind stops working, it means I should just shut up. Thank you guys, anyways. I'll be around. I again, if anyone feels like they need to involve us in their prayers, we would definitely appreciate it. Um, I'm not asking for wealth. I'm not really asking for help with the house. I am asking for health, though. My wife is still having problems with her back, and oh yeah, my aunt, she just had a stroke. I forgot about. My dad said he was going to try to get a hold of me, but I haven't heard back from him. So she's it's my dad's sister. She's she's never exactly been. I don't know what she has. She has something. She's not completely there. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it without offending anybody. Um, she has a mental condition. I don't know what it is, but she's always had it. She's not she's not all that altogether there. She's not like a functioning adult in society. She's taken care of, but she just had a stroke, and that's as far as I know. My dad has not gotten back with me. Um, if anybody finds it in their heart that they want to throw some prayers out, that's we could use it there. My mom is still she still needs healing. My father, he still needs healing. My whole family right now is could definitely use it. We've all kind of fallen apart, so we could use we could use some healing. We could definitely use a little bit of help on that end. Uh, Other than that, thank you guys for coming around and listening to. As Vernon Coleman says, as Vernon Coleman says, if you don't know who that is, go look him up. Vernon Coleman. Thank you for listening to an old man. Uh, yeah, thanks for listening to an old man just sit and babble. Uh, I shall talk to you guys later. God bless. Take care. Definitely pull out your Bible. Start praying. Start reading. Start praying. Start understanding what's going on. Like I said, that Bible knows more than you ever will. I absolutely certain that that Bible knows way more about this world now, this time, before Revelation was ever written. That the Bible knows what's happening in this time way more than you'll ever know. All right, I shall talk to you guys later.